Danger in the Old West didn't always announce itself with a spinning cylinder or a rifle slung across a saddle. Sometimes it lived quiet in a vest pocket, hidden beneath wool and tobacco smell. Sometimes it lurked inside a bizarre invention, hammered together by a gunsmith who thought physics was optional. And sometimes danger perched on a distant ridge, so far away you never heard the report until the bullet had already decided your fate. What made a gun deadly out here wasn't just firepower, it was what it changed. A room, a battle, a life, a culture. Some weapons made men hesitate, others made them reckless, and a few reshaped the entire frontier without ever being admired in a museum case or romanticized on a movie poster. These are the forgotten deadliest guns, quiet, thunderous, doomed and devastating, each carrying its own shadow across the West. Subscribe to Forged and Forgotten for more untold weapon stories carved out of steel, dust, and consequence. Number 1. The Remington Double Derringer. The smallest gun on a gambler's body was often the one most likely to end a night early. Not the six-shooter swinging from a belt, not the cavalry pistol with a hammer big enough to pull with gloves. The real danger often sat silently beneath a waistcoat, hidden beside a silver pen or a stack of marked cards. 2 barrels, 5 inches of metal, a trigger that didn't require an argument, only a moment. The Remington Double Derringer wasn't built for intimidation, it was built for consequences. This tiny over and under pistol made its name not in battles, but in back rooms. The leaning shadow of a poker cheat, the trembling hand of a saloon owner, the whispered warning of a jealous lover. The .41 rimfire cartridges it fired weren't powerful by frontier standards, but at arm's length, power was irrelevant. Accuracy? Not really. Reliability? Enough. Concealment? Perfect. It was a gun made for survival within touching distance, the kind of gun a man didn't reveal unless the conversation was already over. And unlike the bulky percussion models before it, this little Remington offered 2 chances, 2 metallic last words. More than one outlaw, showman, and riverboat con artist carried one because they understood something the movies never show. Danger doesn't always wear a holster. Legends attach themselves to the Derringer like barnacles. Tales of Doc Holliday sleeping with one under his pillow, stories of gamblers turning tables with a single, well-aimed shot. Evidence is thin, but legends only stick to weapons that feel plausible. By the late 1800s, more than 150,000 were produced, scattered from Deadwood to New Orleans. They were the weapon of distrust, the insurance policy of men whose lives were always one argument away from violence. Its deadliness wasn't measured in range or reloads, it was measured in closeness, in the decision to end something without warning, and that made it one of the frontier's most feared little secrets. Number 2, the Lemat grapeshot revolver. Where the Derringer spoke in whispers, this next weapon spoke in thunder. Imagine a revolver so ambitious, so overloaded with intention, it seemed built by someone who didn't understand the meaning of the word enough. 9 rounds in the cylinder, a second barrel hidden beneath them, a lever on the hammer that allowed the shooter to switch from bullets to a blast of buckshot. The Lemat grapeshot revolver didn't try to compete with other pistols of the Civil War era. It tried to overpower every single one of them. For the Confederate officers who carried it, the Lemat wasn't a sidearm. It was a handheld display of audacity. Created by a French-born doctor, this revolver tried to fuse the capabilities of a shotgun and a pistol into one monstrous, over-engineered weapon. Cavalrymen adored the idea. 9 shots for distance, 1 for devastation. A single squeeze of a different notch, and suddenly they held a pocket-sized scattergun. In theory, this weapon gave a soldier 10 opportunities in a battlefield where a single misstep meant death. But like many brilliant ideas on the frontier, it carried a curse: complexity. The thing was heavy enough to tug at a belt. It jammed. It misfired. It demanded careful cleaning in conditions where mud, rain, and blood were always nearby. Replacement parts were scarce, and the cost meant only elite officers ever got their hands on one. Yet those officers swore by it. They said firing the central shotgun barrel felt like unleashing a miniature cannon. The sound alone made enemies stumble. But most of these revolvers never reached the battlefield. Many rotted in ports and warehouses due to Union blockades. The weapon became a myth more than a reality, a symbol of what could have been. After the war, the Lemat became a relic of ambition, a reminder that gunsmithing sometimes crosses the line from practical into theatrical. In the hands of a man bold enough to carry it, it was terrifying. But for most, it was simply too much. too heavy, too finicky. Still, when something that bizarre actually works, even occasionally, it leaves a memory behind. And the Lemat's memory is the echo of a revolver pretending to be artillery, daring the world to call it excessive. Number 3, the Volcanic repeating pistol. Some deadly weapons kill quietly, others kill loudly. But a few kill dreams, especially the dreams of their inventors. The Volcanic repeating pistol fits that last category. It was born from brilliance. A lever-action handgun with a tubular magazine that allowed multiple shots without reloading. In the 1850s, this was science fiction brought to life. A pistol that could repeat, a pistol that could fire as quickly as the shooter could work the lever. The frontier hadn't seen anything like it. But brilliance can be fragile. The ammunition, called rocket ball cartridges, held their powder in the hollow base of the bullet. The idea looked clever, but mechanically it was a disaster. There wasn't enough powder to give the bullet speed or distance. Many failed to ignite. Others vented hot gas backward into the shooter's hand. The gun jammed like it was designed to do so. And when it did fire, the effect was often disappointing, even at close range. Yet the concept behind the Volcanic pistol was pure prophecy. The idea of a repeating firearm that eliminated the messy, slow-loading processes of earlier pistols. Investors believed it. A company was founded. Hope soared. Failure crushed it all within a year. Nobody wanted an expensive gun that couldn't defend them reliably. But one investor, Oliver Winchester, saw potential in the wreckage. He bought the patents, rebuilt the ammo system, and transformed the weapon into something the entire frontier would soon know: the Henry rifle, the direct ancestor of the legendary Winchester. So the Volcanic pistol never conquered the West. It never impressed soldiers. It never terrified gamblers. But it left an invisible body count: failed business ventures, burned fingers, shattered optimism, and abandoned workshops. And yet, through failure, it birthed the dominant rifle of the era. The Volcanic didn't kill with bullets, it killed with lessons. Sometimes the deadliest gun is the one that forces an industry to evolve or die. Number 4, the Sharps Model 1874 rifle. If the Derringer dealt in closeness and the Lemat dealt in spectacle, the Sharps dealt in inevitability. It was a rifle so precise that distance became irrelevant. A rifle so powerful that a single trigger pull could change the outcome of a hunt, a battle, or, heartbreakingly, an entire way of life. The Sharps Model 1874 was not designed for rapid fire or intimidation. It was built for accuracy, stability, and pure, unyielding confidence. Large-bore cartridges like 4570 and 5090 roared through its barrel with such force that the recoil felt like the kick of a restless animal. But if the shooter could handle that kick, the rifle delivered results at ranges previously thought impossible. This was the weapon of buffalo hunters, the men who turned the Great Plains into a graveyard. Herds stretching from horizon to horizon collapsed beneath the Sharps. Hunters could drop animals before the rest of the herd even realized what was happening. The sound of the shot often arrived after the impact. Many native warriors called it the rifle that killed today and spoke tomorrow. Its devastation wasn't just measured in carcasses. When the buffalo disappeared, so did the food, clothing, shelter, and cultural backbone of the Plains tribes. The Sharps became one of the quietest yet most devastating instruments in the history of the American West. But for marksmen, it was the ultimate tool. One legendary shot over 1,500 yards cemented its reputation. Whether luck played a role or not, the message was clear. This rifle could reach farther than fear. And for surveyors, soldiers, hunters, and sharpshooters, that reliability was worth every dollar. The Sharps didn't change the West with a mechanical trick or a hidden feature. It changed it with certainty. A single shot that could erase distance and redefine dominance. These 4 weapons capture the full spectrum of deadliness: the personal, the dramatic, the experimental, and the absolute. One hid in pockets, one tried to be everything at once, one failed forward into the future, and one reshaped entire nations with patient, lethal precision. The West's deadliest gun was never just a single model. It was the idea that innovation, fear, and power could be molded together into instruments that outlasted their makers and outlived their consequences. If you're still here at the end of this trail, you're one of the few who actually wants the truth and not the Hollywood gloss. Subscribe to Forged and Forgotten before you ride on, because the next story will change the way you see the guns and the ghosts of the old frontier forever.